Okay, we're live. I think everything's working, apart from the glitchy car. Welcome. I'm your new commentator for ILRGT2, Owen Wyatt, and I believe we're looking at the champion. Don't quote me on that though. I think he's champion. Anyway, yeah, welcome along. Welcome everybody. Hopefully, as I say, everything's working okay. I haven't ever streamed on this game ever before my whole life. So, fingers crossed, all is well. As Scott goes off to Narnia, not the best way to celebrate, I think, a championship. And Renegade, yeah, I just stopped watching people crashing. Anyway, yeah, Scott is 1.2 seconds clear, by the way, although he does appear to be very slow. I want to find somebody who's on a lap and not in the... Is that another car off the track? Pete! Big man Kington, or Knighton, but we all like to call him Kington, mainly because of me. That's my fault, that. We want to ride on board with some people. Let's ride on board with Banana Times. But anyway, yeah, hopefully we're all working. Welcome everybody to the stream. And, yeah, I should be here for the next two races. Should be. Because Evil's decided to bin off and leave. Because of course he has. Obviously we're going around Suzuka, by the way, which is useful because it's a track I actually know. Apart from that, I know nothing. I have no idea where the telemetry is. I have no idea where anything is. I need to figure out how to turn all these things on. That's how you look backwards. Useful to know. But yeah, I might need some time to figure out what I'm doing here. The joys of being brought in last minute, huh? You know, you got Pete about to start a lap as well when he's not off into Narnia, so we'll watch how that one ends. But coming to the line, here comes Banana Times. P7, I think, at the moment. Still over 4 seconds off the pace, which I'm sure he won't be too thrilled to hear, but I will. Fastest lap is Scott's, still a 1:38.5. I saw a few people in the chat were saying that they were doing 1:39, so they're already behind before we even started. Pete off into Narnia again, as is Ollie and Banana Times. We're all crashing into each other on the outlaps. Is that how it works now? We all just crash into each other. Well, I say qualifying. They technically call it practice, but anyway, I'm going to get a stream link out and make sure everything is working. And yes, Red Matty is in the chat there, confirming that Scott, as long as he's going at the moment, he is actually our champion. So let's give him loads of respect. We missed the last race at Monza last week because, as I say, Evil left, I think. And so, yeah, Scott in that time took a 53-point lead in the championship, and we go off the F1 points scoring, you know, the classic 25 for a win, and 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, and so on. So, that does mean that Scott, being 53 points ahead with 2 rounds to go, is our champion. So, I'm used to seeing him not winning, so I'm quite excited. Even though he's not top at the moment, he is our champion, so, give the guy some respect as he enters the pit lane. Casper is now P1 at 1:38.3 at the moment. Renegade in the beautiful Iron Brew liveried Super Formula car to the line to start a lap, I believe. And I'm going to make sure everything's working on the stream. Let me know if everything's okay, by the way, people. I don't know if I'm doing this fully right or not, but we'll find out as we go on if it all goes terribly wrong. Anyway, stream link out. Get that out. No, not Discord. There we go. So 2:10 up in the first section. I don't think they're the same as the F1 sectors. They put them a little bit earlier. They put it before Dunlop here, while they put it on, you know, before Degna's in real F1, so that will be why the sectors are a bit different, but do ignore that. Anyway, as usual with this, by the way, we'll be lights out in 9 minutes, I believe. So we have 20 minutes here of qualifying, or practice as they call it in the game, but we all know it's qualifying. And then we will be ready to go. So we're coming up to the next timing beam any moment now. Up the hill we all go. And we shall see if Renegade is getting himself any closer to Casper. 1.3 seconds off him at the present moment, and only a 10th up on his best time, so not actually on to beat anyone at the moment. He's looking to stay P3 at the moment, which isn't disastrous. I'm sure he would love P3. I'll tell you where he is in the championship quickly, actually. Would be useful. And he gets a 1 second penalty for getting it a bit wrong there. And it is a 10th up, but I don't think it counts because he cheated. JTX 002, let's see. Renegade is actually 4th in the championship, so bettering himself. I'll quickly take you through the championship actually, because this is me going through it as well. Scott, who in every race he has started has been 1 or 2. Pretty impressive. He is our champion, 154 points. He's only race he didn't start was at the Nürburgring. Everywhere else he's finished second, first, second, first. Taking the championship obviously last time out. Second, but the guy in first at the moment is Casper, and he's had did not start, third, did not start, first, second, first, did not start. So these guys are properly good. And then third we got Rinky, Stinky Rinky. Anyone gets the reference, I'll be very happy with you. But yeah, you got Stinky Rinky there in third, and then you've got Renegade 4th, JTX, who we're watching now, 5th in the championship. Jano, good lad Jano, P6 in the championship. He had a podium last time out, his first one of the season. Hopefully he can take that momentum forward. MK Bourne 7th, Ollie Flavel in 8th, Kyle 9th, Archie 10th, Chapelili 11th, then Banana Times Pete, big man Jack Gooding, Super Guy NL, and Yuri. Yuri's last, so I think he's racing tonight. Hopefully he can get himself a few more points. Everyone who is in this championship has scored points, which is always good. I was always that guy at the back who took ages, and while you had people, you know, dominating every week, I'm just happy to get a single point, you know. I know how it feels to be the back marker on this game. I think I've raced at least once in every single ILRT season apart from this one. I decided finally to say, because Jack kept getting me back and he kept saying, go on, do another season, it'd be much better this season, trust me. And I kept finishing laughing, like, not anymore, not this season. So commentary from now on, only ever doing commentary here, so I'm never going to get tempted again. So in other words, I know what it's like to be a backmarker here. Hey, you live for days like this post-championship where it could be a bit easier to get some points. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, JTX coming to the end of his lap now, into the Casio Triangle section. Nicely done on his chicane. A bit of a cut. I don't know how strict we are. It doesn't look like he's got any penalties though to deal with, so he should survive. And the time is good enough for third place. Scott is top with a 37.9. I must have missed that. Oops. Didn't miss that though. Miss your good parts. Always catch you when you're in trouble though. He's obviously being challenged by this guy here, Casper. He's entering the pit lane now, and it'd be interesting to watch him. I'm gonna actually try and watch a lap with him because he was certainly a good challenger earlier, and we will see how close he gets to this time. He's second in the championship. He'll want to end the season on a high, won't he? I mean, let's just say the ideal situation for him would be finishing 3 points off. But then again, that would require taking Scott out, and I don't think he'd be much of a fan of that. Anyway, must share more links out because we've only got like 4 viewers, which I'm not surprised by. Trust me, I'm not disappointed. It is post-championship and all that. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on still, if I'm being brutally honest. General now is P3, Renegade 4th. JTX is 5th fastest. Let me get live time. I wonder how many people are actually here. 9 people are here. That doesn't bode too well, does it? That does not bode well. That could either mean absolute chaos or it could mean absolutely nothing. As you can see, Scott there saying there's 5 minutes till the race starts. And so that means Casper can probably only get 1 lap in. So we'll see how he goes, shall we? But like I say, we've got to ride on board and maybe get a proper lap. onboard camera always irritates me on this game. I wonder if we're better even just watching from the cockpit view. You know, you get to look around a bit more. It's nicer. But now we'll do this. It's easier. So, Scott is 4/10 up at the moment. Janel is only 1/10 off Casper, so it is rather close up at the top. We will see how Casper does now. Renegade's asking if the stream's up. Yes. I should probably... Okay. Mission tell him the stream's on now. It works. Anyway, through turn 1, a corner which I had absolutely horrendous memories of from season 3, I want to say, when I spun off there a grand total of about 10 times. Many rages were had that day. But trust me, it could be worse. As I think it was purple actually that first sector, but Casper, he'll go again. Janel making a last minute pit stop. Can he get round in time? I highly doubt it. Because you don't get to finish your lap here when we hit 20 minutes, when we hit 7 o'clock. That's you done. You're done, finished, over. Don't care if you're, 15 seconds away from your lap finishing. When that 10-second timer comes up, you're screwed. Let's hope that Scott, though, isn't screwed. A lap with the champion as he heads in towards turn 1. Like I say, I just never could make it. I was always breaking either too early or too late or spinning off or having some form of horrendously awful disaster class. There is Janel just ahead. We'll see if he catches. Like I say, I think he's sort of put himself in a bit of a nasty position, actually, there, Janel. I don't think he'll get a lap in, because we've got 2 minutes. He has to get round in like 30 seconds. It's not going to happen, let's be honest. And I'm just letting the guys know the tweets up, because I don't, or the streams up, because I don't think they've realised. And Janel... Gonna try and get out of the way there. Lovely livery, by the way. Loving the ILRT on there. Super Guy and L keeps joining and leaving, so it looks like it may even have just an 8-car race, which is lovely. Through the middle sector in real F1, it's been through 2 timing beams now. It's very clumsily put on the track there. There's 2 of them on that little figure 8 where they go over each other. So there is actually 4 intermediates, as they used to call it. But up to the 3rd timing beam now. He was purple by under a 10th of a second. Scott was. Is he up still? Yep, still by under a 10th, but that may be all he needs. He's looking to get a little bit deeper into the 1:37s here. Cutting the last chicane, as we've seen a few people do now, and to the line, his final lap. He's not really hugging the inside as much as you'd expect, and he does lose some time. Janel will see if he gets to the end of his, as Renegade is off the track, so it hasn't gone brilliantly well there, unfortunately. His session is over. JTX as well off the track, maybe just letting Ollie through. Let's watch him in his black and green liveried car. It's that Monster Energy. I must say, it's a very nice look. That's the thing I love about this game. Like, I may not play it much, but the liveries here are like, beautiful, brilliant. I was terrible at making them though. Oh dear, Casper, that's not the line. Ollie is having a horrendous lap. Don't know why I'm still watching. And Scott is starting this now. As you can see, we have just hit 20 minutes. So we're now getting ready to watch a race. Don't think we're going to do any formation laps. I assume it's a standing start, not a rolling start, but we'll find that out, I guess. Well, now. I can barely hear the game. Anyway, we've got 8 cars on the grid. Is Scott on pole? That's useful, that. From Casper, Janel, Renegade, JCX, Ollie, Banana Times, and Pete. 25 laps await us then here in the ILRGT second tier. Scott, our champion, heading Casper on the grid, and we are getting ready to start this race any moment now. There we go. We are away. Lap 1 has begun, and Casper is into the lead straight away. But Renegades had a fantastic start, brilliantly leading this race into turn 1. Scott down to 3rd, a season worst if he finishes there. And brilliant start by Renegade in the beautiful Iron Brew liveried car. Hopefully he doesn't stick it in the gravel now, because it was a very nice start indeed. Casper then holds his P2. He was in the lead for a brief moment, but yeah, couldn't keep it because of the supreme start from Renegade. Scott currently third from pole position, not the best start from him there. Jano fourth. He was obviously from third. I think Renegade came from fourth, all the way up to the lead of the race. It's not the longest run as the turn one either. Really impressive driving from Renegade. JTX fifth at the moment. Banana Time sixth, and Ollie falling quite quickly from the pack, as is Pete. I think they've both possibly been off. We saw Pete off in the background there, actually. But it is Renegade who leads this race, and he's nearly a second clear in his beautiful Iron Brew liveried car. Maybe it's just because he's Iron Brew. The power of the Scotsman leading this one. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, because that'd be quite awkward. Glasgow Dunlop, I think he is. It makes sense, he is Scottish, I think. But yeah, good memories racing with him in the olden days. Oh, look at Casper getting really quite tied up to the back now, and not going for the move just yet. He wants to be patient on this one. It's only lap one. No point panicking yet. You can go for the lead. It's only 6/10. You've got that whole race to go. Don't know about the pit strategy, by the way. I don't know if we're in for a 1 stop, a 2 stop, if it's 64 stop. Oh, Renegade's wide. Renegade goes wide at that corner. As I say, I hate this corner with a passion. And Jano up to third as well. So Casper leads this race from Renegade. Now Jano up in third place and going round the outside. That's a risky move, but he's making it work beautifully through the S's. Up into P2. He goes in that nice enough livery. It's a weird one as Renegade's off again, and his great start is coming to no avail, unfortunately. He's now back down below where he started. Started the lap in the lead, started the race in fourth, now he's in 6th place. Scott's still running in P3. I think everyone's going purple, not really any points going on about that for a while. And looking at the lead there, that Casper's got 2.5 seconds clear. And Casper leads a brilliant finish 1-2. I'm sure JTX is going to want to make that finish 1-2-3. I'm sure everyone will be very happy to see that. Just trying to see if you can see the tyre compound or anything here. It is difficult to figure out what people are doing, but I don't think we're seeing anything. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to just go by what we're seeing on the screen. It could be completely wrong. I don't really care. I'm going off what I'm saying here. I'm going to try and make it interesting for you. And say, only an 8-man race today. But, who cares? Who cares? If you're a true fan of these types of racings, that's not English, then you'll like this racing. I'll say racing. It looks like Janel's defending quite a lot to the inside. It's even about 20 metres a gap there, but Scott going around the outside, beautifully passing into P2. Will Janel try his shenanigans in the chicanes again, I wonder? We saw obviously on the last lap on Renegade before Renegade went and binned it again. Renegade now up into 5th place again. We'll see if he can catch him. He certainly had a fantastic start, but it has to be said, Casper certainly looks the faster of the two at the top today, and he was certainly catching up to Renegade very quickly as well. So I guess Renegade may be considering possibly just a podium today, but we'll wait and see. I don't know if Renegade's had many podiums. I'll have a look and see. As I say, coming into this a bit blind on the championship standings and all that. Renegade, he's had 2 visits to the podium this season, looking to make it a third at the moment. Casper would complete his 100%, would continue his 100% finish to podium ratio, as would Scott at the moment with where they are at the moment. Jano, if he finishes on the podium, this would be his 2nd in a row and 2nd of the season, so I'm sure he'll be loving life with that one, and he could challenge himself up for possibly P3 in the championship. That'll be something to look out for as we head on. Obviously we haven't got the 3rd place man in this championship today, Stinky Rinky, so we're missing him. That's instant wins for Jano, who would gain 15 points on him. Not quite passing him. He'd also be passing JTX if he can gain maybe a couple more positions if JTX falls back. Point is, they're all catching and they're all scoring more than Renegade. It's all going to get tightly squeezed together here, and we're going to see a pretty entertaining fight for 3rd in the championship, I think, today. Anyway, we've got a single message in the chat. Whoever this single person is, respect, I guess. Let's see what the single person has to say. It's a great name, that. Bartholomew J. Montgomery Winkelstein. Is it Suzuka? Yes. Well spotted, it, Suzuka. And the fastest lap, interestingly enough, by the way, as I was just saying there, Casper has, he's actually going quicker than qualifying. Qualifying, whatever. That could suggest that he's possibly not on the biggest fuel load. We will we'll wait and see, though, what he's doing. As I say, from my own personal experience on this game, and it's not much, 4 seasons on and off, like, but it's not much, especially on these cars. You tend to see 2 stops. I think you have the super soft, which are the purple tire, because it's all offset from F1. The red is the soft, which is actually, well, I say offset, it's not actually accurate to what we've got in real F1 now. But point is, you could maybe do super soft to soft to soft. You could do that in, what, 2 stops maybe. You know, do like 6 or 7 on the supers and then just sort of spread it out like 9 on the softs. But anyway, fastest lap? Not quite. Casper misses it just about. But it is something to look out for. We'll see if anyone rolls the dice with their fuel loads, of course, as well. It feels like Casper could be running quite low on it today because Scott just does not have much pace at the moment catching up. And Janel starting to come under possibly a little bit of pressure here from JTX. We'll see if anyone else is rather close. We've got Banana Times and Ollie as well pretty close, and Pete still running at the back, but I must say he's got a beautiful livery as well. He's having a great time of it as he goes off the track, but I'm sure it's a lovely view from his car apart from the grass, but it's a nice livery. It's a nice livery, okay? That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm going to start cursing him though. Ollie actually have fallen up in our time a little bit, and I think we should go back and see the leader. Right. Is there anything else I can see here? I mean, display all info. All info isn't much, is it? It's not much. They don't like to give you much information. Oh boy. Oh well. Can't do much about that. See, this is where I need to try and remember. What are all these buttons? What do they do? Is there anything I can press that can give other stuffs? I don't know. Promise for next week I'll have this more sorted out. I'll have it better sorted out. Bartholomew J. Montgomery Winkelstein. What game is this? This is GT Sport. We are in the Super Formula cars. We're going around Japan. Season's pretty much over, like, but this guy's our champion. If you're new to the league, by the way, do subscribe with your notifications on, because we do F1, we do IndyCar sometimes, but mainly F1, GT Sport and all that. And we've got PC tiers, we've got Xbox tiers, we've got PlayStation tiers, and you're the only guy here I'm advertising to. So, you know, if you want to see more of this, you can certainly subscribe and put your notifications on. And, yeah, you'll never miss a live stream. Anyway, let's go back down to anything. Looks like Renegade is starting to catch up to JTX 002. Loving the Coke Zero advertising on the stuff. I do not compete. No, I used to compete in. I used to compete in GT Sport. I do F1. I compete F1, but I used to do GT Sport. Very poorly. I retired probably more races than I finished. I scored like 5 points overall, which was like, well, Scott's won this championship with 153. Let's do it. And that was me in 4 seasons. He's done that in 1. So I mean, not great, is it? But I do F1, and many people do the F1. But like I say, if you're interested in the league, follow us on Twitter as well, at ILR League and all that, and have a look around, see if maybe you could even take part, and you never know. Always looking for new people. And Scott, lap 6. I was saying, I guess lap 7 or 8, I was thinking, but yeah, Scott's lighter on fuel than Casper by the looks of it, and pitting. He's on supers at the moment, as is JTX, but what are they going to go on to? Is it soft, or is it going to be medium? Is that the next one? Or is it maybe going to be more super sauce? We'll find out, I think, once he's left the box. Lots of fuel going in. It could be a longer stint this. Is he going to fill the full tank up and just do 2 longer runs? 75% full tank, and I believe it's on the super soft. So what about JTX? What's he going to go on to? We'll wait and see. 80 on the fuel, so we could try one more lap. I think he's on super sauce as well. I guess super sauce is the way to go on the tyres. It may have just been fuel for the start. So that does make it a finish 1-2 once again for now. We've also got Quinton RSA saying only 8 people racing. Yeah, it's only 8 people at the moment. Remember, this is the second tier though, and the championship is over. Maybe it's not the most popular. Oh, Casper, that is into the gravel trap. Is this costing him the lead of the race here? Look out for Jano. Jano's nowhere near, but we're more focused on Scott. With Casper off in the gravel, that will have lost him about 5 seconds of his advantage. Or, yeah, there you go. Jano's close, 5 seconds. And 7 seconds, actually, overall. This is pretty crucial mistake in the race. Could this cost him this race? If you're looking to enter, we've only got one more round this season. You may be better joining for season 6. But as I say, if you're joining the league, follow ILR League on Twitter, and you can talk to them there and see what's up. We've got our forums as well. You'll see it on their Twitter page. And just like I say, have a look around if you fancy joining. Look out for sign-ups and all that coming up. And yeah, keep you posted, I guess. They'll keep you posted. But here comes Scott, ahead by the looks of it, coming up to the line. Oh, you're an ILR5. Oh, lovely. Alright, honestly, I thought you were new to the league, Quentin, honestly. I do apologise. But, how's ILR5? Is ILR5 still good? Tell Jamie and Huberto and all that I missed them. But, yeah. Nah, I mean, there's one more round to go. You can ask Jack about it if you want. See if he's available. If you have GT Sport, of course, and if you have a beautiful Super Formula car, I'm sure Jack could probably put you in for a race. Bartholomew again. Well, 24-hour endurance races. I'm not really built for that, you see. Could you imagine me watching 8 cars going on for 24 hours? I mean, this is going to go on for about an hour. That's fine. But 24 hours? We did consider doing a 24-hour stream once, but it sort of fell through. But, yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll do it one day. I'll certainly have you be first to know. But, yeah. Oh, Casper's in ILR5 as well. It's weird. There's so many people in ILR5 that I used to race. It's great. Here comes Scott passing Ollie. Like I say, Gianno into the pits now. There's so many people in ILR5 I used to race or commentate with. And like I say, Jamie, my former teammate. Don't know how he's getting on. But, yeah. See, missed the guys in ILR5. Great bunch of people. Anyway. We've got a race here. Scott in the lead of the race, Ollie into the pits, Jano also into the pits, but that mistake for Casper, look how far behind he is. And that is a crucial error. 7.5 seconds it cost him. He would have been pretty much wheel to wheel actually with Scott out of the pits. Scott with the undercut, making this one work beautifully. But what's he going to be like at the end? Jano there went on to softs, and Ollie's less, so we're down to 7 cars, but we went softs there for Jano. Could that go to the end? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe the fuel wouldn't make it, but if the tyres could make it, I guess there's no real point, is there? Maybe he's going to go for a shorter final stint, maybe a little burst to the finish. This is intriguing. We'll wait and see what happens with that. But it is Scott leading. Let's see for any battles. Casper second, JTX third. So we've still got 2 Finns on the podium. That seems to be like the ever present of this race. That's a terrible the controller's screwed, it's not good. But we've got Renegade catching JTX, and we've got Banana Time catching Jano, and then a minute behind, I think he's having a bit of a tough day at it, Peter. Oh dear. Last place, but 7th place will still score you, oh god, Mavs, 6 points. So if he just stays in there, I'm sure he's probably off to have dinner or something. But if his car makes it, he gets 7 points. So that's pretty much the only reason why I'd still be going, I think. Gap is closing at the top. We've now got 5 years. Alright, they're starting to come in. Welcome. And by the way, yes, I'm not Evil Dragon, you might have noticed. Evil's left. I don't know where he's went, but I'm basically his replacement. I don't know if I'm going to be his full-time replacement or not. I'm quite enjoying this, even though nothing's happening, so that must be a good sign. I'll be probably good at Le Mans at some point. I like Le Mans. I'm never going all those tracks. I don't know, maybe I will stick around for commentary. I guess I'll keep you posted on that. But I'm certainly a reserve commentator for now. On why we've got 2 rounds to go, so might as well have somebody in for it. And I'm free on Wednesday, so who might as well do it. It's not like I've got any skill to worry about anymore. But anyway, yes, 5 years here. So hello. Casper's still with the fastest lap, but he's not closing enough. He's going to need a mistake from Scott, pretty much, to win this race now. And I haven't been watching the whole season, but I'm going to assume that stuff like this is the reason why we've got Scott the champion so early. Because little mistakes like that could cost you in the long run, and that's 7 points down the drain today. That'll be 60 points at the end of this one. If it stays this way, so I guess it all builds up over time. I don't know about DRS actually on this game. I wish we could see, but no one's in DRS range. I don't think we have DRS on this game. I mean, we don't have rain on this game, so I'd highly doubt that we have DRS on this game. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it opens. Half a second. Let's see. Will DRS open? No. So, yeah, no DRS on these. You'll probably have DRS on the F1 car, but apart from that, I don't know. Oh, Renegade, he's done it again at turn 1. He was getting close to an overtake on JTX for the podium, and just like what happened on lap 2, which cost him the lead, he's been off the track at turn 2, and yeah, he loses 3 seconds. Janel not close enough to take advantage, and he's now down to 5th place, but I think his strategy will come to him later on, so keep an eye on him. But time's 5 seconds off, and Pete, yeah, I think he's about to be lapped by another car. Casper indeed is behind, and the gap still 7.2 seconds. Casper, though, still with the fastest lap, so you'll be happy with that. I'm sure. I'm sure he likes fastest laps. I don't think you get a fastest lap point, however, but is that really important? He has the bragging rights anyway. But I'm sure he'll rue that mistake. I'm sure he'll rue that I saw it as well. But, well. Let's see. Let's see if Renegade can catch back up. Because I'm sure he can. He seemingly does have the pace. Quentin saying there that when you do races on the game, on the straights, as soon as you go onto the straight, there's a DRS indicator that will pop up. So, while it may not show a graphic, it will still have DRS then? Confusing as hell, that is. Well, whose idea was it to make it this confusing? But once again, this is the same people that decided there wouldn't be rain on the game, so I can't really clown on it too much. Janel, concentrate, lad, concentrate, because I will bully you for this for the rest of your life if you crash on a straight. That was so nearly a crash on the straight there, and that would have been really funny. Don't do that. I wonder how tier 1's getting on. Maybe they're still on our viewers. Maybe they're still on our viewers. I guess it's a quiet night. I think we're actually winning. Are we winning on views? We're winning on views. Obviously, as you all know, I'm very competitive. We're winning on views. Anyway. Giano lapping Pete. Gap at the lead. Gone down by half a second. And yeah, Quentin mentioned about the DRS on the Mercedes. It gives you the boost, but the DRS doesn't open. Maybe it's with having so many different car models in the game, there's only a sort of certain amount of things you can do, and I guess you can do more with graphics than you can do, I mean on-screen graphics, than you can do with actually showing it on the car. Maybe it would cause issues. But yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if I can get telemetry up, so I wouldn't really know. Like I say, I've never commentated on this game before on my own. Like, I mean, I did a few commentaries of Evil in season 4, and they were fun. I did it with Soup as well. Me, Evil, and Soup, we were like the best combo you could ever find, and then that stopped after a while because I ended up just racing and commentating at the same time. It got like, I need to watch those back actually because Le Mans was very funny, but anyway, 12 seconds by the way, Casper to JTX. So his mistakes only cost him to one car, but that one car is enough. Scott getting that gap back out again. We're now halfway through this penultimate race of the season, and looks like Renegade is back in the gap. And Quentin there saying that, rightly pointing out there as well, the F1 and the Super Formula, they were brought in quite late, weren't they? They were brought in. It must have been what, half a year ago, something like that. So they haven't been there long, so maybe they didn't have time to put those in, or maybe it was just too much of a hassle to program it all in. But here goes Renegade on the outside of JTX 002. And once again, the beautiful Iron Brew livery. You know, I used to do helmet review. Sometimes still do helmet review. And he's certainly winning livery review, and he may well get a podium as well on the inside. And now we're going to go side by side up the hill, over the top of the bridge there as well. You never really notice from this point of view that there's a bridge, but I promise it is a bridge because you see the track underneath. But on the inside at 130R, Renegade up into the podium spots. Ahead of JTX and Janel now catching on these guys as well. That side by side action playing beautifully into the ILRT driver's hands as he heads around. Also, we've got to promote ILRT, but you know, because it's on the car and we're ILR. Don't I haven't promoted that yet. But yeah, Renegade, hopefully if he doesn't make any more mistakes, he can start to catch up a bit to the leaders. But you got to say, he made the mistake on lap 2. He made a couple of mistakes on lap 2, actually. Made a mistake a couple laps ago on, what, a lap 11? You've got to say that did it cost him completely the race? Maybe not, but especially with Casper's mistake later on, it may well have cost him P2. Because he's now 16 seconds off him. But we'll wait and see how his race pans out. I'm sure he'll be very happy to take a podium though. I'm sure he'll be very happy because he has had 2 this season. And it will help him pass Stinky Rinky, obviously. I hate saying that with a straight face. I wish Andrew was here, you know, big man Andy. Because he's the only one that probably knows what I'm on about. Anyway, by the way, Pete says that this race is a waste of his time. That's why we're down to 7 cars, but 6 really. Why is the ghost car so slow? And why does it look so strange? By the way, anyone else sort of noticing that? What? I want Bois on stream. It's bad. I've done the Narnias, I've done Bois, I've done all sorts. What's happening to me? Anyway, yellow flags. Is it at the lead? It's Renegade. Renegade has bottled it again. His Achilles heel is just bottling it. As General gets himself very close to the back of JTX. Renegade has to do the comeback once again. How many times are we going to see this happen, I wonder? Because this is costing him big time. He could have won this race. He was certainly in the lead of it. He had a fantastic start from P4 on the grid if you didn't see it. He went all the way up into P1. Lap 2, went off twice. Fell down to P6. Came back up to P3. Now down to P5 again. And he's now 31 seconds off the race leader, Scott, who's had his own little dramas today. He had a pretty poor start. Went from pole down to third and sort of locked into the lead because Casper made a mistake. I mean, you got to say Renegade could well have been a contender for the victory, but still 10 laps to go. We'll be getting into the second phase of pit stops, I'd imagine, soon. I wonder if Scott is thinking about that yet, because he probably won't pit for another 3 or 4 laps. He has 75 full tank. So I don't really know how far that would get you, but I'd imagine it would get you at least 10 laps. When he pitted on lap 6 last time, he's done 10 laps on his tyres, so, you know, you can get to the end. Casper is pitting early, by the looks of it. He's plenty of fuel left. That, I assume, will get him to the end of the race. Maybe he'll put a little bit extra in just to be safe. The game does tell you how much fuel is enough fuel. But, let's hope this is a nice, clean pit stop. It should be, like. And how much fuel? Only about 3 or 4 seconds of fuel in there, and he's up to 70 again, so that'll get him to the end of the race. A short stop. Yellow flags again waving as we have Renegade passing General and Casper. Good for him. Just ahead of JTX. That's worked out rather well for him. But Renegade having to make that comeback once again. And remember, by the way, Janel could be going to the end. I don't know. He's on the softs. They will last longer than you would imagine. Maybe he's got the fuel to get there as well. If he does have to pit, it'll be a very splash and dash, really, to the end. So we'll see what happens with him, I guess. Here is JTX, currently on for P3. I don't know if he's had a podium recently. Let's have a look. Like I say, I'm having to check these championship standings all the time because I don't really know what's going on. JTX, he's actually had a pretty good form. He's had third, second, but that's not great form, is it? Making a bit of a mistake there in the hairpin. Like I say, he's had third place, he's had a third and a second in the last two, so 3 podiums overall, looking to make it 4. But will Renegade demote him once again as Scott pits very low on fuel, so he's definitely going to have a longer pit stop. That will help out Casper, certainly. Could put him back into the lead with the undercut as well. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's see. 28 seconds to gap. But here is Scott into the pits, taking the tyres off. And let's see how many seconds of fuel. It's about 3 or 4 seconds for Casper. Or been about 5 seconds. It's probably about 10 seconds of fuel here, as Casper is looking to get past. The game will glitch you a bit there. 12 seconds of fuel. Casper leads this race once again, and I think there's yellow flags once again on the racetrack. May have just been for JTX coming to the pits. But Casper regains the lead. But Scott is going to be on an absolute charge here to the end of this race. 2.4 seconds is the gap. Game on with lap 17. Only, what, 8 laps to go. This is going to be a pretty special finish, I reckon. Renegade is just 6 seconds off all this, by the way, so that is about a last pit stop, though, so you could say that he really has cost himself with those mistakes. Janel currently still not sure on his pit strategy right now, but he certainly had tyres he could probably burn his fuel on. You know, it's a set of tyres that he doesn't have to worry about its wear so much. It's more the fuel usage. So he'll go further and run out of fuel, I think, before he runs out of tyres, and that'll mean he'll have a shorter pit stop and probably keep speed up till the pits. So he should finish third, I think, but that's if he even needs to pit in the first place. But we'll see what he does. Gap is going out now between Casper and Scott. Let's see if we'll see purple sectors. Indeed, it is a purple sector from Casper. That'll be why he's extending his gap. He's doing everything he needs to do into the final chicane. Will he set a fastest lap? Once again, they're quicker than qualifying. Makes you wonder what Casper could have done if he ever got a clean lap in qualifying. And he betters his time. What about Scott? He doesn't, but he's close, about 4 tenths in that last sector, so must be some pace there. But we'll see how he gets on. Renegade now making his pit stop. We'll see how much fuel goes in here. About 10 seconds of fuel there. And he comes out. Yellow flags again. Not Renegade though this time. Was it Banana Time? Maybe just recovering. Or maybe just yellow flag for a car coming out of the pits. I don't know. JTX jumps Renegade. So Renegade will obviously have to catch up a bit more. I think he's already ahead, but he's extended the gap, I think, a little bit. Scott still not closing much. Jano could be his finishing position. He's 21 seconds already ahead of JTX and probably still pushing on. So Yeah, the strategy's been quite compelling in this race. It is it's lap 18 now, so we're coming into the closing stages of this race, and the only one sort of yet to pit, I think, is well, Pete. Obviously, I think Pete's actually here now. So, hello, Peter. Nice to see you, Sir Knighton, Caton, whatever. Just finish the race, and you'll get some points. So, no, don't ghost it. Oh well. So I think the only one we are yet to see what the strategy will be like is it's Janel. So let's see what he's going to do. Will he do a splash and dash on lap like 23 or something? Let's find out. Continues for another lap. But we are also focusing on the top two. Casper doing, I think the overcut, wasn't it? Or sorry, no, the undercut on Scott. Gained about 10 seconds through pit strategy. So even though he made his catastrophic mistake, it didn't cost him in the end. Luckily, he had pit strategy on his side, and he's regained that lead. But another colossal mistake, and he's really in trouble. So we've got to make sure that he actually gets to the end of this one without making any mistakes, and he will take victory. That would be his third of the season. One off Scott's total, like I say. Maybe he'd want to be equal on Scott for victories this season. They should both probably be in the top tier next season. I assume we'll be staying with Super Formula. It seems to be a pretty good format to go with. It's certainly been entertaining this race, even though nothing much has happened. I've actually quite enjoyed the strategy side of it. Janel now being closed in about 4 seconds here by JTX. So I'd say it really is either going to be a late pit stop or just cruising to the finish. I don't know if there's anywhere we can see. Anywhere we can see what he's up to? With the fuel... No, he just don't give us much info, does he? It wouldn't be great just to see he's got this much fuel left. Oh, cheers game for telling me this important information. I will use this now to decide what the strategy is. And by the way, thought that gap was going down. Under 2 seconds. Ooh-wee. Hype. Jano coming to the line again. I'm continuing, but let's watch Scott, because he's now really getting that gap down. He's closed it by another couple of attempts. Down on his fastest first sector, but clearly he has got more grip than Casper has. And this will put the pressure on the race leader. Will he succumb to the pressure and make another mistake? Or will he get to the end of this one and let that little mistake be swept under the rug? As Scott actually makes a mistake. He's just lost a second. Okay. So much for making a storyline. Turns out he made the mistake, but 6 laps including this one to go. I'm not going to count anything out because, well, we've seen Renegade making plenty of mistakes and we saw how that ended. I think we've got 6 viewers, by the way, so, hello, welcome. You're here to see the closing stages of what could be a tense finish. We'll wait and see. Here at Suzuka for ILRGT, or not, okay, I'm getting this myself. ILRGT2, there you go. Second tier, obviously. We've got the first tier going on right now, but if you've chosen this one, then cheers. And we've got some side-by-side. Renegade said he'd have to catch a JTX, and he's done so in the Iron Brew short delivery. Let's see what he can do on the inside. The lawn sweeping right-hander, which will go into this lawn sweeping left of Spoon now. Staying ahead. Oh, there was contact there. JTX just staying ahead, but then Renegade spinning, and for the 4th time I think it is now today, making a mistake that cost him track position. You see, he did this quite a lot when I was racing him as well. He would always have a good run but then make a mistake, and I think Casper should be okay in the lead, by the way. Now, I don't think he's catching as quickly as it could have been. Janel is still going, so a splash and dash really will be a proper splash and dash if he decides to go for it. Pretty big if though, isn't it? Well, let's see if he goes to the end. But I think it would make sense if he keeps it going. Now 15 seconds the gap, he'd be well behind even Renegade after his mistakes. He could even be behind Banana Time. So pitting I don't think really is worth it. You're better cruising to the end and losing, what, 3 seconds a lap, than pitting and losing all that time. But we'll have to wait and see how it works out for him. But at the moment, looking to claim a podium. which I'm sure he'll be quite happy with. Podium number 2 of the season. Second, third place in a row it would be. And yeah, happy for him if he can do it. Just going to see if anyone's in the chat, by the way. Do feel free, if you're watching the stream, to be interacting in the chat. I will be there chatting. That's probably not the right phrase to say, interacting with the chat. Anyway, do feel free if you're here to say hello, because I'm your commentator for the next race as well, so hopefully you like me. I will be here tomorrow, by the way, as well, for ILR 8. Remember that? The big F1 tiers. I am obviously a commentator on ILR, as I said. The brand new tier for this season on the PlayStation side, so that will be tomorrow at 6:30. Also at the same time as that, we're going to have ILR 7 and 6. But, you know, your choice, I guess, of who you want to watch. But we've got both. We've got all 3 of those streams on. Then at 8 o'clock tomorrow, we're also going to have ILR 4 and ILR 5 on the PlayStation side. Friday, 7:30, all 5 ILR Xbox tiers on the F1 side. Sunday, we will have ILRs 1, 2 and 3. ILR 1 at 5, I believe, and then ILR 2 and 3. 3, I'm racing in. They're at 7. And still no word on ILR Americas. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But if it does, that would be probably not for some time. It would probably be a shortened calendar for that one. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, looks like we've got a fight for the lead that could go into the last few laps here. 3 to go at the end of this lap. And we shall see if Scott can come here and take a bit of a clutch victory. It looked like he lost it. There was a couple of times there where I thought, he may not have it. But he's now nearly within a second. He has put the foot down. He is engaged hammer time. And he's now pushing for the victory. 3 laps to go here at Suzuka. And it's been a race full of, I guess, sort of strategic errors or strategic masterclasses in Casper's case, and maybe Janel's case, and then mistakes from Casper himself and Scott, which could cost him the win still. And of course Renegade, who's been off that many times, he probably could have been in this fight, but oh well. And it's all coming down to these last 3 laps. Who holds their bottle at the end? Can Janel's tyres make it? He's losing buckets of time now. 6 seconds down on that latest lap, and his masterclass of strategy could very quickly become a 3-way fight once again. And yeah, no ILR Americas. As I say, if they do ILR Americas at some point, it would probably be a shortened calendar, I'd imagine. And that's Banana Time's doing. I mean, you need to be focusing on your racing, my dude. Focus on the racing. You don't want to bin it. But yeah, we've got some interesting fights. They're all going to boil down to the final lap stuff here, I think, because we're going to have who wins this race down to a final lap. It could even come down to a corner cut. That would be a penalty. Jano does his tyres. Oh, maybe they won't hold on, especially if he's struggling like that. That must have cost him about a second at least. He is driving on the ragged edge, and it might cost him gap under 6.5 seconds now, and it is flying down. But the thing that could save him is that these two are fighting away. Renegade and JTX are sort of in the fight for this 4th spot, which could very well become the fight for 3rd in a minute. 1.2 seconds now, 1 second now, 0.8 of a second. I wonder if Casper had a little penalty to deal with there. 2 laps to go, and we are seriously in for a battle here if Scott can catch up. I'm sure he'll know that it is only 2 laps to go, and he'll know that his only chance to go for it really is very soon, because he will eventually run out of time. Janel, 5.3 seconds now the gap. Probably going to be below 5 seconds before he even crosses the line. He's got 2 laps to hold on. Can he manage that? He is 5.5 seconds down again on this lap. Look in the background, you can see JTX and Renegade. Will it be one Finn replacing another on the podium, or will we be seeing 2 Brits on the podium, with obviously Casper up there as well? It's all to play for in these last few laps. 5 of these guys in it, and all in their own separate fights. 0.8 of a second now. Fight for the lead. 0.7 of a second. And this is really going to be a tense last lap. Will Scott find anywhere to get through? That is the big question we have to answer. And I reckon we're going to get an answer pretty soon. Also, looks like Renegade was getting right up to the back of JTX, as I said. Really intriguing last couple of laps. And luckily, there's a 45-second gap between these lots. So that means we'll get to see what happens in both fights. As Scott, he got a bit deep down in the last corner. He lost a few tenths of a second there. Is that the race victory gone for Scott? Final lap then. 1.2 seconds. He needs Casper to make that type of mistake, but instead it's a chaser who gets it a bit wrong. Let's see the gap. 2.8 seconds. Oh, Channel, is he going to be able to hold on this last lap? I said it, he had a strategic masterclass. I may find myself retracting that statement. Unless he can defend like a madman. And it depends on if these two are fighting. They will surely be aware they're catching that car ahead. It's no secret that that car is getting very, very large in the mirrors of Channel and of just the main view of these two as Renegade nearly loses it again. Really close, these two. Will Renegade go for it into turn one? He starts his final lap, of course, side by side. Does this save Channel's skin? Renegade on the inside, gets the position, but does he get it turned in? Does he finally manage to get an overtake and stick it? I think he does. Let's go to the leaders though. Casper still 1 second ahead. Doing just about enough to get there. Passing that gravel trap he visited earlier. His wheel tracks are still in there from when I thought he'd lost this race. When he probably thought he lost the race. But he had strategy on his side. He had a very short fuel stop. Only, 4 seconds. He made the fuel last. He had a different strategy. And it's working out from 9/10 of a second clear. Does he get this last chicane safely? He's making sure he doesn't cut it. Final corner. Casper comes to the line to take victory at Suzuka here in ILRGT2. Scott P2, but who is going to be third? We have got a brilliant battle brewing here now. Channel versus Renegade and potentially JTX as well. As we all head towards Spoon. Renegade on the inside, making contact, and Channel goes wide, as does Renegade on the exit. Could Channel get back by? What about JTX? Where's Renegade? He's spinning off the track again. He's lost this a 5th time in this race, and he will finish pretty much P5. I wouldn't be too surprised. And JTX now, can he pass his fellow countryman into the final chicane? It looks pretty good for Channel, but if JTX has the grip, I'm sure he'll use it. Channel's pretty slow at his last chicane. We'll wait and see how it happens as they head to the line. Channel, does he get that P3 from his fellow countryman? Yes, he does. P3 for Channel on the one stop. And JTX P4. Pete has just finished there in P7. Renegade 5th. And, well, he'll be very disappointed with that one, I reckon. Banana Times coming as well to finish P6. And I think it's 5 times Renegade went around. I mean, I would look back and check, but food. I'm getting food soon. I'm hungry. Anyway, Renegade, or not Renegade, sorry, Banana Times spins it across the line, and the final order: Casper taking his 3rd win of the season, and continuing his run of finishing every race he started on the podium. And the same with Scott, who finished 2nd. Scott with his 4th second place of the year. Or of the season, sorry. And Casper with his 3rd win of the year. He's had 6 podiums overall. 3 for 1st, 2 for 2nd, and 1 for 3rd. And as I say, 4 apiece for Scott. 4 firsts, 4 seconds. And so that is it. That is ILRGT2. I've been your commentator, Omar. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed that race. I thought it was pretty decent for the strategy anyway, and it all boiled on the last lap, as I would have hoped it to do. And thank you everyone who turned up to watch it, and I will see you tomorrow for ILR 8 at 6:30 PM on the ILR channel. If you're new, by the way, of course, subscribe, put your notifications on so you don't miss the live stream, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Safe travels, and I'm hungry. Anyway, yeah, safe travels, guys.